Man, what a gnarly ending to what was otherwise a good night. I think the worst part is, I haven't looked, but I don't think Sexton's crash had any like real bearing on fantasy. Like, I don't think that caused anybody to get double points or anything. I'll have to look at it. Sup, y'all? How you doing? Happy night or whatever. Happy fantasy results. 230, Colby. Give me some scores, everybody. Let me get them scores. 297 from my dude Vic. You got me by 1, baby. You got me by 1 point. I'm a little salty about it. 295, my best so far. That sucks so bad. And before Mookie, I was like, yo, Tomac was running 8 with Malcolm, Anderson, and Sexton on the podium. That was just gonna tighten it up. And I'm just really bummed for all of them involved, because that was gonna be an incredible championship. But whatever, you know, fantasy trumps the real thing, right? 290. Thank you for the Drake reference. I'm glad you cashed in. I knew. I was like, Drake's gonna be good, but I needed 8 in the main, and I didn't want to go to the LCQ, so I passed on Drake, and he didn't even need it. So good for you guys. Cost me my All-Star. Rob, I'm sorry. What place did he end up getting credited, though? Because it was so late in the race. At least he didn't get dead last. 16th isn't much, but I mean, I'm sure you'll take those 10 points, right? Looks like Dylan Fernandez and Ryan Brees. Oh, no way, Matthew, really? That shouldn't affect fantasy, though. So if you guys don't know, it depends on how they do it, but if they penalize them points, that does not affect fantasy. If they penalize them positions, then it does. So keep that in mind. If they say Ferrandis loses 2 positions, he will be docked that in fantasy. But if it's just 2 points or 4 points or whatever, it doesn't matter. Dave 301, my man, look at you go. Mookie wins 1 this year for sure, but the real fight is Tomac and Moto. I agree 100%. But guys, thank you so much for joining me for the after one. It's early today, and I don't know how I feel about it. Even for East Coast, it's only 8 o'clock, and I'm like, should I even be here? Should I be like, should I go out? Should we go to the movies? Should we go to the bar? Should we go to dinner? Like, what do we do? 2:30 tonight. Oh, okay, I guess. I'm waiting. We'll see. Once Marks gets it finalized, man. But 296, I will absolutely take it tonight. I will take that. I had the perfect 450 team. Amart led it with 42. Vince got 38, and then Plusinger, Brayton, and Cade tied for 34. So I was just shy of getting the perfect marks on the 250, but I'll take it on the 450. Triple crown and a triple crown, baby. Are you guys ready? That 250, everybody, can we all agree that next week we're all taking Kyle Peters, Mitchell Oldenburg, and Jordan Smith for double points? Am I right? I was scared to go Amart. Vic, I was too. My only thing is I literally saved him for Minneapolis. Like, I literally saved him for this moment. And I'm like, how do I not take him? I literally saved him for this race. Give me 1 second. I just got to put out a real quick Instagram post, and then I will give you my full undivided attention. Can I do... No. Can I do a link? Do I have it copied? Please tell me I have it copied. Fuck, I don't have it copied. What if I do this? No, there we go. That whole link. There we go. Tune in. Boom. Put it on my story. We got it. All right, I'm done. Was Supercross on today? Thought it was at 10. No, Rody. It was at East Coast. I posted on Facebook. I posted on YouTube. I posted on Instagram. I posted on Twitter. We're on the East, so no more late ones. Today started at 5 p.m. Eastern time. So already done, already there. I'm so ready to be there. Sexton had Taco Wheel. Oh yeah, so he was trying to get back on that bike. Y'all saw him try to get back on that bike, right? Do you guys think that was his head? Do you think that they were or was it just they were like, no, Chase, you don't understand. This bike is not rideable, sir. You cannot do it. He looked drunk. Yeah. He couldn't pick his head up. I felt so bad. Your header. Thank you, Matthew. Too late to change it now. It's no big deal. I thought I was next weekend. No, it's now. Who won? Anderson. Chase. Cooper led what? 2 or 3 laps. And then Sexton passed him. Sexton led the whole race, and he crashed out there at the very last second. So that's it. That's all it was. Do you guys want to see the graphics? I can probably change it really quick. Do you guys want to see graphics? This is all of my files that I do. Where is it in this one? Maybe. Yeah, there we go. So we take this and we change it to say Minneapolis. And that's too long, so we bump it over. Boom. Hit the selected. Control-Alt-Shift-S. Save it transparent. Save. And then 2022. Roto Live. Overlay. Boom. And it should update. Boom, there we go. All right, that's how easy it is. We did it. We did it live. I'm sad if you fell asleep, Wamba, and it's so early. Are you in a different time zone? What happened to Volan? So, Michael, they didn't show what happened to him, but Welton was very slow. I'm not saying that they both got into it or something, but Volan had dirt on his shoulder, and Welton got lapped like lap 2. He was already getting passed. So I don't know if they got if they got into it together or if it was two separate, but they just showed him over on the side pulling it off. You know what I mean? Adam killed it. He did, man. He did. No offense to Zach. Zach did fine. Blair does great, but AC was literally born to do this. And I will be sad the day that he retires from racing, but I will not be sad to see him become a full-timer on the mic because he's there. Ferrandis got docked 4, but still got 9. Okay, so then his penalty will not affect fantasy at all. So that's it. That was cool to watch. Wayne, I'm glad you enjoy it. I'll do a stream one day, maybe. I'll do a video edit or something of me putting all of this stuff together because it's a lot. I have the same shirt. Yo, Levi, did you go to the tour? Never picking a negative handicap again. That's fair, Cody. I don't blame you. What was the penalty? Wamba, he and Brees allegedly jumped on the red cross flag. But I haven't seen any of that. Let me know. Have the results been posted on the results page? Yes. So let's go and look at them. Official results here. Let me check. Yep. All right. So here it is. Here you can see it. It doesn't say it in bold letters or anything, but you can tell. So Ferrandis is still credited as 9th, but you notice he only gets 10 points where he should have gotten 14. Brees is still credited in 19th, but he got docked all 4 of his points. Who cares? Like, don't get me wrong. I like the consistency here of if they just dock points, that's easier because then you don't have to like rearrange podiums and stuff like that. But for a guy like Ryan Brees, why does it matter? Yeah, he got docked 4 points, but do you think he cares about points? He's not in a title hunt. That hurt Ferrandis way more than it hurt Brees. Whatever. But Webb, the difference though I think is that Webb jumped after. Webb did roll where the rider was down and jumped past. I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree that he should have also been penalized, but I think it could have been where he technically did jump past the incident. Why did Sexton finish above Bogle? Probably because Sexton completed more laps than Bogle. If Bogle went 2 laps down and Sexton only went 1 lap down, that would be why. But I'm not positive on that. I'm not positive. Can I let me pull up. Let's go to results page. Provisional results. Yeah, I don't know because they have Sexton also at 24 laps. It's all transponder, so it could have been that Sexton completed 24 laps and Bogle also completed 24 laps, but Sexton had completed his 24 before he crashed. And Bogle completed them after. Webb jumped over toe. I did not see that. I literally saw him roll through the corner and then jumped out, but I don't know. I'm not AMA. I'm just saying what I saw. My buddy is at Volbeat and Ghost. Nice, Corey. That's pretty rad. In Cincinnati, even. You probably know I'm from Ohio too, so that's right down my alley. Are we gonna talk about Kenny? Yeah. Can we talk about 2 things though? Can we talk about Kenny, and we also need to talk about Cooper. And I know on paper, I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna look at it and you're gonna say, but Cooper got 2nd. Yeah, but did he though, man? I mean, no disrespect here, but Cooper now has 2 podiums that were absolutely gifted to him. He still can't be happy. This was a 4th place night, and he got the start. He was in front of everybody, and Cooper, Anderson, Sexton, and Malcolm ran him down, passed him, and went. Same thing at A1. I'm not letting him out of that. I got a little bit of flack when I said it after the A1 post race, but in Anaheim, yeah, he was on the podium, but that was because Malcolm and Marvin went down. Eli didn't do well. Like, there were so many. Sexton crashed. Like, he should have been 5th, maybe at A1, not 2nd. So that, I mean, obviously we don't see Kenny compete for this title. We definitely don't see Webb competing for it either. Definitely don't. Not seeing it. Webb does great in Arlington. He's got momentum. We'll see, Vic. And also the thing though is momentum. It is a Triple Crown, so he does have 3 tries to get that momentum. So we'll see. Any idea what the winning score was, Michael? I don't know because I mean I'm waiting for them to refresh because I'm not gonna go and just like look forever and ever. So we'll find out. Roxon not happy with the bike. I don't know. It's possible, Moto, but all of these riders, it's a lot. It's your physical, it's your mental, it's your emotional, it's the bike, it's the team, it's the track. It's so much. So much. Can't do it. Cooper did not show speed. No, he really didn't, Yama. He really didn't. He just didn't have it at all. Two horse race now, yeah. Unless Eli and Anderson, because, Eli has still salvaged his bad ones. Don't forget, Anderson has 2/10 on his board. Eli's worst are 2/6. Kenny is sick. Maybe, but that doesn't matter. He can't keep being sick. Who were your picks, Cody? I had Webb, Brayton, Freezy, and Alex Martin. And on 250s, I had Phil, Pierce, Jet, and Enzo. Somebody said, if you're in here, I swear, if you're in here, one of y'all said that my team that I put on the video was a ringer and that I would not have any of those riders come the night show. And look at me having 6 of my 8 riders. Kenny felt like Mookie. Did he, Jason? Did you see that? Did you see footage of it? I didn't see what happened to McElrath. I had him on my early team. He's the one guy that I pulled off just because I thought this track would be a little bit more friendly to the outdoor riders. That almost made me put Ansty in. I almost went Ansty for that reason. And I didn't, and I'm glad I didn't. And I just was like, I think I'd rather have Shane for the shorter mains next weekend at the triple. I had Enzo. I knew he would be moto. I knew he would be. I've been on the Lopes train. That train can be rough a little times, but I've been on that Lopes train for a long time. What happened to Chase Sexton? Radio, it looked like his front wheel, I don't know if that caused the wreck or not, but his front wheel buckled. What did Park score? I think he got 52. I can't see that right now because the results aren't going to be up until Marks refreshes. McElrath faded, but McElrath also, he went down. He for sure went down. Oh man, Cartwright. Yo, Jason, with all due respect to all my people that pick those high handicap guys out there, what are you doing? We got a Triple Crown next weekend. Cartwright qualifies straight in. He's going to be, a 16 now? A 15 minimum because his handicap has to go up. Like, I just don't know what y'all were doing out there gambling on those high handicaps. I love that for you. For those of you that picked Hand and Drake and that paid off big. I don't know what y'all were doing, man. Gotta cash in on those Triple Crowns. High handicaps, Triple Crowns. Drake looked good, too. Drake looked good. Can we talk about Preston Kilroy not making it? Not even making the top 40. Fry was 1/10 of a second from missing the night show. Yikes, man. Those two guys, Fry was factory last year, and he almost missed the night show. Oh, man. Sexton's wheel didn't cause the wreck. He tried to scrub and tucked it. Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, Andrew, because his wheel was definitely messed up, and I didn't know if when he scrubbed, if his wheel bent and that contributed to it, or if that was because of it happened. But yeah, his wheel was definitely messed up. Hand was never a gamble. Ohio boy going to put it in. No stake. I love Jeremy Hand. But again, same thing. Next weekend, I was like, look, even if Hand makes it in, his handicap is still going to be good next weekend when I don't have to sweat it out. So I do too, Travis. I do too, man. I'm a bleeding heart for a yellow bike, so. Kilroy got hurt. Did he get hurt, Kalo? Either way, he didn't look fast in either time. What was his times? Kilroy was down here. 55th in the first session, 43rd in the second. Yeah, he didn't have it at all. Not even close. He just didn't have it. It was a shame. A lot of they are there, Cody, and they're going to make it too. They are. Kessler, I know, GD. And don't get me wrong, I didn't expect him to. True rookie, outdoor guy, never really raced a lot of Supercross. I didn't expect Kessler to make it, but I'm not surprised. I should say I'm not surprised that he didn't make it. I expected more. Hello, Roto. By the way, is it Jesus or Jesus? Let me know. The Ochoa's throwing me off, but hi. Neeson Alves. I know, man. That's gotta hurt Alves hard. Because he works hard, man, and he's a good kid, and I'm bummed for him. Suzuki ripping starts and everyone's steady hating. Bar X Bikes Bark. I love it, Travis. I love to see it. Looks like 14 and 200. Yeah, we were just talking about that. So, Ryan, Nothing changes then. The penalties mean nothing because we do not go off of points, we go off of finishes. So there will be no changes for penalties in fantasy. At least that's the precedent that has been set before. So unless they changed how they did it this year, I am not part of that committee. I am not privy to that kind of information. So they've changed that, we shouldn't see anything different. If Suzuki didn't have the kickstart, no one would say anything. Man, I don't know, man. I think Oldenburg would have loved to have a kickstart. In that heat race, am I right? I saw Cade and A-Ray 9 and 10 in the heat, and I was like, let's watch. I'm so upset we didn't get it, Steak. I'm so upset. Think Ferrandis and Tomac are going to be riding. Oh, yeah, they're fine. Andrew, that happens. That was a racing incident. That's fine. That's no big thing. They should change that because penalties should somehow be enforced. Ryan, it's just easier this way. It's just easier this way because we don't score off of points. We score off of position. That's how the game is. How would you want it to be done? Should they lose points? Because it wouldn't, even if that happened, Ferrandis gets docked down to 7. Brees would lose 4. Or does he, because he lost 4 points, does that if he lost 4 would put him below double? Like, that's just, it's messy and nobody would be happy with it. So it's easier to just do that. Fantasy goes off of what is their position that they're credited in this column over here to the left, and that's just the easiest way to do it. It's a little bit messy of, does Ferrandis lose 4 points? Or in Brees' case, because he scored double, does he lose 8? Nobody would love it. Nobody would want to do that. I think the motor, yeah, no, it was, Scott. It was, yeah. It was the motor. But either way, I feel like we were all having a laugh about it when we were like, well, I don't know, man. If he would have had a Kickstarter, they wouldn't have these battery problems. Leagues are updated. Let's go look. No, they're not. You liar. Nope. Still not. I'm not seeing it. Oh, when they showed replay and Freezy. Oh, I know, right? That rule made sense when they used to dock positions. Yes. I don't know. Don't come at me, Ryan. I don't make the rules. Oldenburg having, I know, baby. I know, right? Got a few. I do too. I'm just glad I didn't pick him. I told y'all not to pick him. I say y'all. If you're a Patreon member, how many Patreon members we got in here in chat right now? I said on the Patreon pod, I said, you don't want Peters, you don't want Smith, you don't want Oldenburg, because those 3 guys are the 3 higher handicaps, and I said those are the 3 that are most likely to be worth double points next week. And what do you know? They all are, all 3 of them too. Full motor swap sure doesn't sound like a battery issue. I know, Wingnut. That's why they were like, oh, it's the battery. To be fair, the way they were trying to jumpstart it, maybe that's what they assumed it was the battery, because that would make sense why they were trying to jumpstart it. But obviously once they got it back and they were like, oh no, it's worse than that. Oh, let's talk Phil. Is Phil going to be doing 25 to life by the end of this season for literally going out and murdering one of these riders or what? Because, and to be fair, Faulkner was a stupid thing. Faulkner should not have tried to make that move there. But the Jordan Smith was just him being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Also, Jordan Smith gonna Jordan Smith. Am I wrong? I love the guy. Nicest guy. All the talent in the world. That guy cannot stay up for anything. Man, it's hard. Yeah, but I thought you was wrong about Smith. Therese, what do you pay me for? You literally give me money for my advice. Does this allow Oldenburg to move back from All-Star? Yes, Cody. So, moving next week, we can look at it right now. Here's what's going to happen. Let me pull it up. So the All-Stars, people have asked about this before. The All-Stars work on whoever is the current top 8 in points. So going into the Triple Crown round, Jet, Faulkner, McAdoo, Jeremy Martin, and RJ will remain All-Stars because they finish 1 through 5. But Pierce, Styles, and Enzo become All-Stars. So that means Peters, Oldenburg, and Jordan Smith will all now be worth double points. So that is the rule. It feels like some people are maybe a little confused about that. A lot of people were mad when Kenny was double eligible, but that's the reason. That's how it works out. Phil is 252. I don't know about that, Alex. I like your enthusiasm, but that is strong. Forkner move was just not good. Moto, especially in a heat race. That makes no sense, but also, is anybody surprised that it was Forkner to make that kind of move in that spot? Can we get a peek? Oh my god, Steak. We were losing it. Because I literally said, I got kind of called out by some other people in the media about being overly critical of the broadcast and Race Day Live, and I was like, okay, fine. This week, I will try to play nice, and I will try to be nice, and I will, and then they were testing my patience. They tested my patience today. It was bad, man. Oldenburg going to cash an easy 40. Cody, I hope so. I really do. Hopefully Paul doesn't go crazy. So I don't have the formula of how he does handicaps, but now that I'm watching it more closely because I am spending more time looking at them, I do think there is some rhyme or reason to it. So I just don't I don't want to share it because I don't know. Does that make sense? Like I don't want to say this is how it is because I don't literally know that. People in the media, look, Wingnut, I was not calling out anybody, you know? Is A-Ray? Nah, Chris, he was hurt. He came into this race hurt. He knew he was hurt. I think he was just hoping to make it go. This is what I mean, I don't know. This is A-Ray, man. Do you guys think that A-Ray is objectively a much better rider than Adam Enticknap? Because for me, I think it's funny that we put all of this stress on A-Ray, but Enticknap is always right there. He qualifies in the low 20s. He's always right there in the LCQ. He's always right there just outside the heat race. But we're like excited when Enticknap makes it. But on the other hand, we expect A-Ray to make it. And I don't think A-Ray is like that much better, like that much higher of a rider than Enticknap to hold them at such drastically different standards. You know what I mean? I don't, Travis, I hear that Joey Crown took a role, like a non-racing role, but I don't know that for sure. You know what I mean? Jet Reynolds looks super uncomfortable in camera. I didn't see that. I don't know. Yeah, A-Ray is better. Do you think he's like considerably better though? It's updated. All right, let's go check it out. There we go. The championship rank is not updated yet. But that doesn't matter. Let's go look at, is the admins league updated? Yep, admins leagues. Damn it, Dan. Sorry. Dan's still out here pulling away from me. He FFL, didn't he? He didn't. 310 raw. My man, all 352s. Wow. Wow. Look at Dan go. What a score. That's an incredible score. I thought for sure after 296 I would have pulled on him. Well, this just in, the Mulligan runner did better than Paul. So that's not great. So Marks now has a literal 1-point lead over Dan. And Paul fell all the way back to JT territory. Yikes. What's the Roto League looking like? I haven't been keeping up with this as well as I should. I'm sorry. I know I'm buried. Hurricane's still out here stretching it. Ol' Hershey Squirt. Tank Slap B Smith up there as always. I'm in 82nd. That's not great. That's not great, y'all. That's not great. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. 1386. We're climbing. We're climbing. I had a bad start, but it is what it is. Jet Reynolds looked uncomfortable in real life. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man. I did better than average, but still went down. Doesn't that suck so bad, Jessica? It's the absolute worst when you do better than average. So if you guys look at, that's why when I do the videos, I do the median score because I think that's a better indicator than average. Because there are way too many people that I have no idea why they do this, but they will specifically try to get the lowest score possible. I'll show you one. Like, there's a trophy for this. Oh no, this guy picked an honest team. Oh no, this guy picked an honest team. Oh no, I'm so sorry, Kyle. I didn't mean to put you on blast like that. Oh no. So if we look at the general results, I'll get what I'm looking for. I should have went here in the first place. There's always somebody that picks people like Brandon Marley. You're like, who? I don't know. Blaze Cromaldi. Jack Chambers was confirmed to be injured. You know what I mean? Like, there's always somebody that... So the average is hard because there's a lot more very, 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 very low scores than whatever. So that's why I use the median, because I feel like it's a better thing. 19th, Slim, look at you go, man. If A-Ray can land back on factory bikes... You say... I mean, to be fair, he did ride factory for a minute, but I don't know if I would ever consider him, like, landing back on. Like, that's a thing that is original, you know? Have we talked about the tool bag guy who made the lady let go? Is that what was going on, Clint? Because I couldn't catch it. I like looked up at the screen in the middle. So they caught it together, but she caught it on her shoulder. It doesn't matter. Good for that guy, I guess. I hope he's happy that he took those from that lady. I hope that made his life better or whatever. I don't know. What was the high? What was the highest in the championship? Man, 339. All the 52s. Perfect team? No, because it was Freezy, Plessinger, and somebody else. So he missed out on 2 points from having a perfect team. Man, gnarly. He had the mask, she had the strap. I would have just been like, I'll cut the strap off. You can take the lenses and I'm taking the strap. Alex Martin, that's it. That's it reference. He missed Alex. Thank you. I was gonna say, I'm like, I know he missed somebody here. But yeah, that was uncalled for. Who cares? I don't know. I guess I should get the plate. Shameless self-promotion. Because I just said, look, man, I just got the stuff sitting around. If he wanted one so bad, he could sign up for the Patreon. If you guys are not already a member, it's $5 a month. That's $1 a week, about $1 a race, to support me and, you know, so I can do these live shows and stuff for you. I don't have a sponsor or anything for this, so like I'm just doing it for the love of it. But $5 on Patreon every month. We give away an autograph race used number plate. Last month was AC. This month is Christian Craig. Can I sit that where it can be seen? Maybe. Yeah, like that. It's probably gonna fall over. In addition, $10 if you're serious about playing fantasy. I do the enhanced cheat sheets, which you guys have probably seen. I talked about the Patreon earlier, where I literally said don't pick Oldenburg, Smith, or Peters. If I could, I would. Wife, listen. Enjoy the evening. Hey, Corey, thanks for popping in and hanging out. Next weekend is a more evening race, right? We're going back to like 8 p.m. Eastern time, I think. Why is the Supercross website so terrible? 8 p.m. Eastern. So the live show will be back till like the 11 p.m. Staying away from Amart because I thought he wouldn't finish the main with his hand. That's fair, baby. That's fair. But with that, baby, I was just thinking, for me, I was like, if he beats one guy, and it's his home race, so I feel like, baby, if there was one race where he would race through the pain, it would be this one. How do you find the median score? Oh, Phil, how do you do it? I literally have to find out how many people in the championship series showed up, which I have to go like this and scroll back. And then I find out how many total players there were, which it was 9,076, and I divide that in half. So 4,538, and then I find out who got 4,538th place. I do this every week. For you. If you want to know all those numbers I get you, the algorithm doesn't spit them out. Marks doesn't have a back door. I literally do this every week to find these numbers for y'all. So the median score this week was 4,538, 246. So if you did better than 246, you did better than half of the people that paid to play. Y'all literally got lucky. Vic, the whole game is y'all got lucky. By that same logic, y'all got unlucky if you picked Voland or you picked this or you picked Sexton got unlucky. Like, it's gambling. It's luck, yeah. We're making educated guesses with what limited knowledge base we have. He also, unluckily, got 10th in the heat. If only Cade would have weeded himself out like he always does. I hate this game. Vic, why are you so grumpy for? Why are you grumpy? Let me know. Lay it on me. Give me the grump. What's the top 100 looking like? Let's see where that is. I know that you have to count outdoors too, but that's always my goal. Top 100. It always does this. Switch it back. That's why they dropped the gate, right? 1749. That's what you're looking for. 1750 is what we're looking for to get it. So I need to make up 116. I don't love that. I hate but love this game. That's fair. But yeah, that's why they dropped the gate. That's why we do this. That's why they say, that's why we roll dice. Everything looks like probabilities on paper, but what makes it fun is the unpredictability of it all. You know what I mean? Alex, thanks for hanging out with us. I appreciate it. I will never forgive myself. Levi, why did you pick, can I ask, honest opinion? Because I saw a lot of people talking about Cartwright, and I just had to keep my mouth shut. What about Cartwright? Knowing that next week is a Triple Crown, and we will guarantee know if he's in the main or not, what about Cartwright made you so hungry to pick him? Like, I literally don't understand why. Same with Jeremy, and it worked out for Hand, and it didn't for Cartwright, but people picking Hand and Cartwright's, I was like, just wait till next week when we know who it's going to be there. Like, that's all it is, Because I am a clown. Well, Levi, the first step to solving a problem is admitting you have one. I did too, but we all know he's coming back next week on fire. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Top 100 is tough. It is, Chris, it is. I'm so upset. I lost top 100 last year by one failed FFL. I think I ended up 116th place. I can't remember now, but I was one failed FFL. I don't know why I did, but I took an FFL at A1, which I never do. I guess I was just feeling confident. And yeah, if I wouldn't have done that, I would have been top 100 last year. I would have been like 98th. Hand made every main last year. Vic, yes, but he made every main in a class that was half stacked. That's different. I love the data, but that's different. I also thought he would make it, but I wasn't ready to hang my season on Jeremy Hand coming out of the LCQ. I wanted 8 guys that I thought could reasonably definitely come out of the E. And obviously Amart went to the LCQ, but stuff happens. I didn't do the whole shot challenge this week. Did you guys do it? It's really neat. I just forget. It's not something that I'm concerned with. That's mean. I'm sorry. I know I'm supposed to be a company man, but I just didn't. I went from 224 in the championship to 237. That's harsh, Phil. That's harsh. But a lot of high scores this week with all those 52s. Safe teams seem to have done. Yeah, that's fair. Pretty good. I finally scored more points than my wife this week. Yeah, Caleb, you're gonna rub that in. Did she beat you every week up until now? I always forget. And it's right here. It's literally right here. But I'm always like, I'll do it later. And then I just don't. I just forget. It wouldn't have mattered. I would have got it wrong anyway. So I don't know why I care. Like, I definitely wasn't going to pick Cooper Webb. Faulkner wasn't a bad pick, but I probably wouldn't have picked him. Do you think the average rider score is going to be 29 this year? Steak, that's a great question. I looked the last few years. So you can go in and look, and like, I thought it was interesting because last year felt like a very high scoring year. But I looked at the math, and in 2019, the person that won it averaged 257. Then it was 241. Then it was 238, and I was really surprised to see that these have gone down every year because I would have expected them to go up every year. So the fact that we're still this high is weird, you know what I mean? I scored 321. Yo, baby, look at you go. Had fourth until Sexton wadded himself up out of nowhere. That hurts, man. I'm sorry. Another great unpredictable race. I don't think I've ever seen a wheel. Yeah, right? Superfly, that's what we were saying earlier. Like, it was just wild. It just was weird. How do you decide the expert picks? So, Nelson, I don't do them at all. The expert picks that is literally just what is on their team. So, if JT has these 4 guys on their team, then his icon will show up to whoever is currently picked on his team. So it will change, because if you look on Thursday, that is obviously their team with no data. And then if you look again with 30 minutes to go, that is their team after they've looked at qualifying and all of that. So I would definitely check as late as you can. It's also a good idea to keep up about it, because if you look at it and you see that JT, Paul, Dan, and Steve are all on somebody, and then you look again and they're all off, that probably means something happened. Also, I feel like most of you guys that are here know, because you know me, but I just want to let you know, I don't know any more than you do, and if I did, I'll post it. I'm here at home. I am not at the race. I get a lot of DMs and a lot of mentions on Twitter about, like, what happened, is Cartwright's bike okay? What happened to Voland? Like, I know as much as you do. Like, I literally know as much as you do. And if I do know something, I will 100% tweet about it. So be sure to look on Twitter for it. I picked 5 All-Stars. Wispy, that's a terrible strategy. Terrible strategy. Yeah, it's a bummer. It's a bummer about Jet Reynolds for sure. Yeah. JT strategically changes picks last minute. His expert picks are usually different. No, I mean, JT in general doesn't really seem to change his team until late. That's really it. I think that it's important to know who they are, but I use it more just of a, if I want to already pick a guy, if I already like Phil, and then I look and I see that JT, Steve, and I think Dan had Phil, I'm like, okay, they are also on Phil. That makes me feel better about me wanting to pick them, because if they do have any info, they've used that to make that decision. Does that make sense? But you default, no, and that's what I'm saying. But I'm just saying, Jay, that if I know something, I will tweet it. Like, y'all don't have to ask me. I just hate it because I literally, by the end of the night, and on Instagram, I don't even get notifications for a lot of messages. So I'll get them late after the race, and somebody will be like, "Is Cartwright lining up for the LCQ?" And I'm like, I have no idea. Like, I have no idea. I know less than you might, because where y'all are at least watching the broadcast, I'm trying to watch the broadcast, and I'm running the Pulp Twitter during the races, and I'm trying to be active in the Discord for Patreon, and I'm trying to promote, like, the live show, and it's hard to run 2 Twitters at the same time is what I'm trying to say. If everyone has a certain all-star, I pick another, because everyone will have that expert all-star. That's fair, Vic. That's fair. What's the over-under on Forkner finishing the season? Baby, I think it's high. What's the over-under on any of these guys finishing the season? I posted on it on Twitter, and people kind of gave me crap about it, because I said if Jet, J-Mart, Forkner, and RJ all miss the race, or all miss at least one race, who wins the title? And people were like, why are you leaving out those 4? And I'm like, because they've all missed multiple races in the last 2 years. J-Mart hasn't finished a season since 2018. RJ has only finished once. Forkner hasn't done it since 2018. Jet broke his collarbone. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard, you know? Never done good before. Do the top guys usually just try to get 8 in? Yes. Yeah, Jacob. That's important. The number 1 goal in the game is to get 8 in. Get 8 in. Then worry about your points. Because it sucks when your guy misses double, but 12 points is a lot more than 0. So you shouldn't go all-stars. But when you're looking at it, you know, you might look at, a lot of people might be disappointed because Shock got 10 or Varize got 8. but they still scored more points than the people that picked Luke Neese or John Short for 0, or Kilroy, who didn't even race. Harlan, like, I love Grant Harlan. Grant Harlan's a friend of mine, but when I saw that he had a 2% pick trend, I'm like, I don't know what you're doing. You're trying to get cute. You know what I mean? They all crash hard at least once. I agree. You surprised with such a dominant performance? Andrew, not really, because I need to see Jet not get he didn't whole shot, but he was right on Faulkner's back wheel from the gate drop, essentially. I need to see Jet maybe get like even a 5th place start before I'm going to say like that was a ridiculous performance. He rode with poise. He rode conservatively. He got around Faulkner. He wasn't too aggressive, but he got around Faulkner, made a little contact, gapped him a little bit, and then all he did was maintain his gap. And that is champion stuff, man. I'm not calling Jet for the title or anything, but the way that he managed that gap and didn't push any further than he had to, because it feels like Craig never stops pushing, and maybe that's why Craig always feels like he's on the edge of ruining a season. But yeah, Jet he managed his gap. He kept it at 3 seconds the whole time, you know? Jet needs the donut. He does, Chris. He does, man. Hand at 52 is literally the same as 2 All-Stars. Yeah, Vic, word. How about pretty much how about pretty much all the guys starting up front getting to watch them? Yeah, Wing, it was incredible. It was nice. It was nice to see that. It was nice to see in both classes all the guys running up front with each other. Any info about Handy? Oh yeah, Moles. It's I honestly don't know where they meet up. I've heard many different things, and including the Miss of Silo. That checks out. Who FFL? Phil, man. If Sexton is hurt, give me Anderson, I guess, man. His starts have looked great in the 450s. I don't know. I wouldn't pick Ken. I wouldn't pick Tony. What's the start straight look like? Does anybody know? I guess I can go look. If it's long again, like it was... Oh, it's a right? I don't want to pick it at all, man. It's a right? Ew. Yeah, man, I got nothing. I don't even know. That's gnarly. A right-hander. Faulkner gets good starts. I don't really want to... I mean, you have to pick a 450, but I don't want to. And it's an entire lap, too. That's an entire lap. Right? Yeah, that's almost an entire lap to the finish line. All you're missing is this little double and then back down the start straight. Yeah, I don't know. That's going to be rough. That's going to be rough. Hey, we can't count the whoop sections yet, Vic. Not yet. Can I get a shout out to Patrick? Yo, Patrick, what's up? It's good to see you. That was a Marb style track if I've ever seen one. It really was too, yeah. Time to load up. Yeah, load the web wagon and head it back west. Is that what you're saying? Ricky said it was a right-handed this week. Yeah, okay. Yeah, the finish line is almost a whole lap. So they will have... I mean, hell, it is. I would say from the gate to here is probably about the same distance as, you know, like hitting this double, turning, and then going under this. So yeah, I would call it a whole lap, you know? With everyone keeping their feet on the pegs these days, who cares about right-handed start? Justin, I think it's just mental things. So I grew up racing flat track. Do I have any flat track guys? Rather you raced or you watch or you followed the sport. I grew up racing flat track to a high level. Like I did the amateur nationals and all that stuff. And it's just I remember racing the TT because I didn't race a lot of motocross. And if you guys don't know what a TT is, it's essentially take your oval flat track and throw like a chicane in it and a couple little things. And I felt so uncomfortable leaning right. It just going around a corner like that right is just awkward. So it might be a mental thing. I still think some people just aren't gonna love it. You know what I mean? Do you have to pick? Andrew, for FFL or for like the team? For FFL, no, but you have to have 4 riders in both. Yeah, Chris Carr's my all-time favorite, Moles. All-time favorite, easily. And he is the nicest guy. I have met him so many times. Also, Will Davis was the nicest guy. My dad became good friends with one of the mechanics on TCR, and I got to spend a lot of time with like Nikki Hayden because he was on that team, and Will Davis and Kevin Atherton. They were all cool people. Does Jets hype hurt him with his target from other riders? Nah, I don't really think so, Steak. I could see somebody like Forkner feeling that way because Forkner feels like he should be like maybe Jet stole his spotlight, if that makes sense. But as far as like McAdoo and RJ and them, I don't think so, no. Flat tracker on the West Coast, hell yeah, Phil, love to see it. I've raced with Joe Kopp. Hell yeah, Joe Kopp. I didn't get to meet him very often. He didn't seem to be very interested in talking with the kids. I was a kid back then, obviously. It's weird how some of them, like Davey Camlin was super nice guy. Ricky Graham was oddly nice. Yeah, I'm sorry, Hunter's brother. Yeah, Hunter's brother. Oh. I'm in love with Daytona. Yeah. How's this track go? You mean the one we're looking at now? Yes, they're going to come down, go take a right. We'll probably go double on, off. I bet they triple out and then try to quad on and then way off. That's going to be a lot. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 whoops. We'll see if we do that. Round it, Dragon's back, then over. This is going to be a fun track. This is going to be a super fun track. Over the tunnel, Supercross triple. I like this little kind of hip jump into this. I feel like that's going to set up some cool passes. Probably have one of those like air it out into flat across the front here. Then this little double again, setting it up kind of like what we had last weekend. I bet they changed that. Because that's what happened at Anaheim 3, and I think having all that speed from coming into the double into the whoops is what caused a lot of issues. Any word where they took the Dragons back out? Moto, I don't know. Maybe they were just trying to, maybe with everybody being so angry about the whoops last weekend, they just were like, let's get rid of one of these whoop sections. And with that, the Dragon back kind of came out instead. Joe and Cody are the nicest guys ever. Joe would have talked to you long enough to almost miss the race. Yeah, I don't know. He just never really seemed that interested. I don't know. But again, it was back. This was like, God, 95, 96, 97. 2 whoops. Oh, is it a futures round again? Oh, racing. Oh, I can't wait. You got a hot shoe? Not anymore, Steak. I haven't raced. I have not ridden. I have not suited up in leathers or anything since I was like a preteen. It's been a long time. It's supposed to be super. Oh, Vic. Anything about Voland? Gris, I haven't seen anything about Voland. All I saw was what you guys did, where he had dirt on his shoulder, and he seemed to be favoring it a little bit, but not too bad. The dirt and time to prep during intermission, I think. That's fair, Wing, yeah, because having 2 whoops and that Dragon's back might have been difficult. Can we talk about that vet tabletop? The big tabletop? Oh man, that should have been a futures round right there. Looks like this track will cross itself. No, it won't, because we come here and then we go under. We go under the tunnel. And then this goes over. That's where it does. You still ride a race, Chris? I haven't. It's been a while. I sold my bike last year. Due to money issues. I have my own business and it relies on outdoor events, and I had a Supermoto and I had a 250, and I had to survive, so I had to sell both my bikes, unfortunately. So I don't have a bike right now for street or for track. I would like to get another one, but I get hurt every time I go to the track. Getting too old. If I get out to your area, let's find a flat track. You can use my bike. Deal, Phil. Deal. We'll do it. I'm in. Did y'all talk about Van Martin? No, I didn't see that racing. I didn't see that at all. I have a helmet signed by Parker at 92. Yo, T-Moles, that's rad. Moorhead was always a cool guy. He was up near me. Trail ride. I can't trail ride, Moto. I've never been a trail guy. I've just never been a trail guy. I like to spin laps. I'm that guy that is like a D plus, C minus speed, but I still am always trying to be faster than last lap. I'm a time trial guy, I guess. I didn't see it. Yeah, it's definitely a little hard to see. I think it's because this white, which is supposed to just show where the hole shot is, but I think that throws it up a little bit. Yo, Jay, I will catch you later. Take care. It's good to see you. Got to get Roto set up on Blue Crew. Yo, if anybody, I don't have, no, what are they going to do, shave my non-existent hair off? I wish. Not a fail. That was, hey, Kato, that is from last race. The thumbnail is from last race. So don't blame me for you getting confused. That thumbnail is from last weekend. Check the gear, different color. I posted this thumbnail 5 hours ago. I missed the Nuclear Cowboys full shot. Yeah. I feel like there was a lot going on, but not but it's also not a lot to talk about. I don't know. I guess it's because there wasn't drama. We haven't had drama in a while. Like, we're so used to having all that drama for so many races in a row. And now we just don't have any drama. It was just good racing. How did the Mulligans do? So the Mulligan team did better than, was it JT? No, it was Dan. No, Paul. It did better than Paul. Mulligan Runner did better than Paul this week. The Mulligan Runner had Barisi, Park, J. Martin, Nicoletti, Freezy, Brayton, Tomac, and Plessinger. That's a good team. Everything but, I mean, Varisi's a good team, was a good pick on paper. I liked him. Did Sexton's crash remind anyone of Stank Dogs? Yeah, you know what, Superfly, it was. It was. You're right, that did seem similar. Tonight, yeah, DMB, yeah. If Cooper was gonna win a race, this would have been the race. And he didn't have anything for him. Just had the whole shot. He had every chance. And when he got that whole shot, did you guys feel like I did where when Cooper whole shotted, when he was leading in that first lap or two, he looked smooth. He looked poised. Like he was really, really riding it. But then as soon as Sexton caught him, his mojo was gone. Nobody passed Cooper Webb last year. Like, Cooper Webb did not get passed. And it just felt weird because that does not feel like the mindset that Cooper Webb has had before. You know what I mean? I just don't think I've seen him this year ride with that much gusto in the early part. Sexton never going to trust that front. Wing, I need to go back and watch the replay a couple times because I just need to see what exactly happened. This was a very odd track. Like, it was slick, but it broke down a lot, but it was also somehow like a hard base underneath. I don't know. I'm glad I wasn't riding it. Eli will come back strong next week, and no doubt we'll be pissed, yeah. And it's a Triple Crown, Luke. So as you know, he is the reigning Triple Crown master. He has won 5 of 10 or something. The main was kind of like practice, 2 to 3 seconds apart. Yeah, Moles, yeah, it just didn't seem like a track that was good for passing in, for sure. Yeah, the experts all crushed it, Vic. All did, yeah. Sexton literally, yeah, he literally bent it, Anthony. Like, I don't know how, did he bend it and that's what caused him to go down? I don't know. I just hope to God it wasn't a mechanical. Because when he got up, his wrist did not look good, but then he was trying to remount the bike. So I wonder if that's, I don't know if you guys have done it, but when you hit hard, you just kind of like, you don't want to even flex or anything. So I wonder if maybe it wasn't broken. He just wasn't trying to do anything with it. You know what I mean? Coop was there in the end. You might have to give credit to Coop and Anderson for backing off and yeah, but Superfly, I mean, they passed him and then he just stayed there. But I don't know. Again, this was almost another quiet 4th place for Webb. That worked last year. The Cooper way of being the Dungy worked when Sexton, Anderson, and Tomac haven't been on their game every week. You know what I mean? Not gonna lie, I was happy to see Eli tip over for the well-being. Yeah, point standings. Yeah, absolutely. Let's do point standings. Let me pull them up. Here we go. So, man, Anderson is only 3 back, but Sexton is now practically eliminated. Isn't that wild how fast that happens? Sexton went from being right there to being even further out than Webb. Anderson wins next weekend. He gets the red plate. He can do without winning if Eli has bad, but he controls his own fate. He goes out and gets and wins the Triple Crown, and Anderson takes the red plate. Man, would you guys have ever thought you would have ever seen Malcolm sitting third in points after 7 rounds? What a man, man. I love him so much. Could he? He could, racing. He could. He looks good. Percentage pie championship. I'm 60-40 Tomac to Anderson. I'm with you, reference. I'm with you. I still think Tomac holds all the cards. We have not seen an Eli yet. And that's going to be the thing. Do we get an Eli round? A weird one. Just one of those rounds. Every year he has one of those rounds where he just gets a 14th place start and finishes 9th for no reason at all. He just doesn't have it. Kind of like Roxon last week. So if we get that, if Eli can prevent that round, I think Eli can win. But he's never done it before, you know? Steve Moorhead, second best name in racing, right, Joel? Tonight was kind of Eli. Well, Moto, that wasn't his fault, though. Like, he didn't look uninspired. He literally got wrecked by another rider that was out of his control. And then he methodically worked his way up and salvaged it. But I want to see one where he just doesn't have it at all. You know what I mean? Malcolm needs a win if he has a chance. Oh, for sure. No offense to Malcolm. I don't think he's a title threat. That's not, like, I'm not trying to be mean or anything. I just don't see him as, like, a title threat. But we'll see. He's not out of it. I just don't think I'm not putting him in that class yet, you know. Quietly guaranteed top 5 in points. Yeah, you're right though. You're right. He's right there. I think Anderson will just make a few mistakes that will let Eli gain points. It's possible, but Anderson has 3 wins. If Anderson can win 6, 7 races, because that's where he's on pace right now, right? If he won 3 out of 7, he should win 7. That's ridiculous, man. To think that Anderson hasn't won a race in 3 years, and he's the first one to 3. He's won almost half the races. And let's be honest, San Diego very well could have been a win if his radiator cap didn't blow. I'm not taking it away because Sexton was riding great that night, but Anderson was second and he was catching him. I don't know if he would have caught him, but like it was that close to Anderson having 4 wins. Eli has backed off his crazy speed and has also stopped having weirdo bad results. We'll see, Samuel. I agree, but we will see. He has yet to have a bad start, and that's what's been the best. You know what I mean? First 250 race without carnage. Oh, it had a little bit of carnage. Jordan Smith endoing and almost murdering Phil. That prevented Phil from getting 52, and that hurts so bad. You have a good math brain, I can tell. Wingnut, I have a lot of math brain. That's how I got this job. Do you like numbers? Do you like motocross? Do you already know how to do graphic design and video editing? That was how I got here. Stewart or Anderson's old bike. A lot of people said that it could just be they needed a reset, and that might be true, but I also think it's interesting of maybe this bike, maybe the steel frame works for Malcolm, maybe the aluminum works more for Anderson. I think if nothing else, this just proves that it is not just raw physical ability in this sport. Does the championship starting in Daytona? Nah, Phil, no. We'll see. I mean, with 3 rounds to go, if Tomac and Anderson are still that tight, maybe. But I've just never really bought into that. 250 class, really, Zach? But it's stacked. Were you having fun with Christian Craig winning 4 of the first 6, though? Anderson's riding like you remember he's almost 30. So what? So Anderson is 29. Eli's 29. I think on that pre-show, did they say Barcia is 30? I mean, even Malcolm's not that young. You know what I mean? And Marvin's what, 32? I think 31, 32. Roxon's 27. Roxon's 27. It's weird. It's weird. Why was Phil Wamba? Did you not see the heat race? Phil's always mad. Alan's got it. Phil's always mad. Do probations carry over to different classes if you switch? Vic, I imagine so. Yeah, I imagine so. If you're asking about Vince, yeah, I would imagine so. Yo, let's talk about Vince. 12th place. Look at him go. Obviously lucked out a little bit because he was 13th until Sexton went out, but I don't know, man. I think I was a little impressed. That's true, but what happened? So Forkner literally jumped onto Phil. Like jumped onto Phil. Phil had the inside line, or like was coming in. Forkner literally jumped and landed inside of Phil while Phil was already in the corner. That was a pretty stupid move. Like, not even greasy, dirty, whatever. It was just an irresponsible move for like second place in a heat race. He almost took both of them down. They both went off the track. It was bad. It was stupid. Anderson almost think, did he really, Mason? I didn't catch that. Bobby from Star will let Eli have it if he gets 11th for no reason like he used to. I don't think he's afraid of Eli and his dad. That's fair. Forkner is always riding like his contract is up. That's true too, Zach. That's true. Vince can't get FFL next week, right? That's a full... Yeah, probably not, Phil. That's probably not. He probably can't. When he came out though, when Vince came out and got the whole shot and led, he led like 3 minutes of that heat race too. That was incredible, man. I was like, look at my guy go out here. What would have happened if Oldenburg raced the heat with no bike and just sprinted around the track? Oh, baby, I know somebody asked my sister and her fiance come up and watch the race with us sometimes, and they were like, is he gonna line up and just take it on foot? And I was like, man, maybe, I don't know, maybe. Oh, that'd be funny though, right? Phil may get charged with shanking Forkner and Alley. It's possible, yeah. That was Phil's fault. He was cross-jumping. So you mean he was cross-jumping in that moment? Like he cross-jumped in that moment while Phil was on the ground and Forkner landed on him. He was in that moment cross-jumping. Ferrandis floundered tonight. To be fair, Ferrandis had a bad night. Yeah, he had a bad night. He did end up ninth, but he did have a bad night. And then he lost points too. Oldenburg looked so sad waiting for his bike. Yeah, it really did. Yeah. It went from left to right. But was he on the ground? Yes or no? I'm asking if was Phil on the ground while being in front? Y'all need to decide. Either you hate Vince because Vince was a wheel behind, but he had the inside, but he was a wheel behind and he needed to let Craig go. Or you hate Forkner because Phil was a wheel out and was on the outside and Forkner shouldn't have been there. It can't be both. We can't go both. Has anyone deciphered? No, Phil, but I'm sure Pulp Show will talk about it. So I'm excited to hear that one, you know. He moved from right to left on the track, and Forkner was a bit too fast coming in. No one's fault, just racing. There it is, hoo-hoo. I would have had so much better if Dylan would have done what he should have, but can't be mad at 256. Yeah, that's fair, Wamba. But that's the thing about picking negative all-star or negative handicaps that's harsh, is that you do have that really tight leash. If anything goes wrong for Randis, you're gonna suffer, and that was what happened tonight. I would have picked him tonight if I could have. I didn't. Nah, I don't know. I probably wouldn't have, because I really liked my team of Freezy, Brayton, and Amart. But I would have definitely looked at him if I could have picked him tonight, but I didn't. You know. How did Sexton's wheel? I don't know, Racing. I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't. 450 podium interview should be interesting. Here, take the win, Jason. Here, have a podium, Marv. Yeah, right, Alan? Yeah. Sexton is really unlucky with his crashes. He really is, Chris. He's a little fragile. I love Sexton, and I don't want to doom him to be AC, but it feels like Sexton is fragile the way AC is. It's not that he wrecks too much. It's that when he does wreck, he pays for it, and that sucks, you know? I just hope that he's not too hurt after that one. Were you not scared? Samuel, not really, because as somebody that literally lost a thumbnail and had to have my entire nail bed redone, and now I actually have 2 thumbnails, one on top of the other. He didn't have a broken finger or anything. He had a messed up nail bed, and he had to get some stitches. I've been there. Like, I've had something similar to that. It's his hometown race. He qualified well. He rode every lap in practice. I wasn't concerned with his endurance, if I guess is what I'm trying to say. Faulkner had already jumped and was committed before Filthy started heading inside from the outside. What's your Acon? What's your... So Chris, I am not actually part of the expert picks thing because I am not one of the original experts. I post my picks on the video if you watch the video on YouTube, and usually I might change 1 or 2 guys, but unless something goes drastically wrong, I stay really true to my video team, not because I'm trying to stay true for y'all. I liked those 8 guys for a reason, and unless I see something ridiculous during qualifying, I'm going to stay with those 8 guys. The only switch I made today was I dropped Varize for Phil because Phil qualified really well, but y'all picked Phil anyway. And I dropped McElrath for Amart, and the only reason I did that was because it was Amart's hometown race, and I liked him anyway. I just didn't want to put an 11 on my early team. It sort of looked like Jason tagged Sexton while he was down. I really hope he's okay. Is that what might have happened, Patrick? I'll have to go back and watch it on the replays for sure. Wasn't Stank supposed to be on a 250 for East rounds? Phil, I don't know, man. I wish I could tell you. I don't keep up with Stank Dog. Troll Train said yesterday that he was not able to ride. Well, Ryan, I guess the more information you have, the more you have to think about. Because I didn't have that information, so I don't know. Do you utilize them normally? Nelson, I look at them because, I mean, I have them, I paid for them, whatever. But more than anything, I use them to verify my own picks. And I think that's a good idea for you guys too, is if you're looking at like the rider list and you're like, oh man, I think this is Heartraft's night. I think this is the night, or I think that, Justin Starling's going to make it, or whatever it may be, and you go and look, and that has, and like 2 or 3 of the experts have him, then I think that should be letting you know that you're not the only one that is interested in him. So you're like, oh, I like him, and these guys like him, I'll take him. Or on the other side, if you like a guy, but you notice that Dan, JT, Steve, and Paul don't have him for some reason, maybe that might make you be like, oh, well, if he's such a good pick, why aren't they picking up on them? But I wouldn't look at those icons and then think about picking them that way. I would go the opposite. Does that make sense? Mariners, moles. Mariners since 95. I freaked when I lost my fingernail when I was little. Chris, it's gnarly, man. I've had some. I jammed my toenail into the bed, into the nail bed on both of my big toes, and had to get, and they like lifted and new ones grew. I had to get them removed. Ugh. I have done some stuff with nails, so yeah, that's why I wasn't super concerned about a nail bed injury. It's painful, don't get me wrong, but it's what it is. What happened to Sexton? Shooter, it's hard to, I have only been able to watch it live, but it looks like he just came into a rut at a bad angle and it just high-sided him. Good strategy. Nelson, thank you. But yeah, that's what I do. Don't put too much into it. Don't go into it like looking for who they picked. Make your picks, and then, did you guys know, I don't think I can show it right now, but you can turn them off. Pick your team, then turn them on and see if your team lines up with them. Does that make sense? So maybe try that. Also, make sure to check this box to only show riders in the AMA qualifying results so that you don't accidentally pick somebody that's not racing. You might say, that's stupid. And I'm like, listen, the amount of people in my DMs that do that kind of stuff, you know? Does anyone else notice the Troll Train looks like a taller version of Mini-Me? Zach, that's not nice. That's not nice. Anyone catch how Anstey crashed? I didn't reference, but it was bad. Yeah. Well, in reference, they were there with him, but I don't think they could get him off the track because of where he was situated. And I wonder if that one moment where they had the red cross flag, but there was nobody that we saw. I wonder if that red cross flag was so that they could get him off the track. Like they just waved it like almost as like a as a crosswalk, if that makes sense. How does Pulp work? Chris, like Pulp Fantasy, you'll pick a team of eight riders. There's actually a how to play video. If you go to PulpMXFantasy.com, there's a how to play video right here that I made for the channel. You can click on that and watch it. It'll explain it way better than I can right now in a few seconds. Wingnut, take care. Bye, Allie Brown. But you'll pick 8 riders, and they all have a handicap. So you're essentially, that's what makes picks, makes everybody good. Of would you rather take, say, Dean Wilson +1, or would you rather take Justin Bogle +7? That's essentially what you're doing. So it's a little bit more in depth because everybody can be pickable and anywhere in the field, you know? What do you think? How come they didn't penalize Cooper Webb for jumping? Mikkel, the one thing I can say, and like I said, I watched it live, I haven't seen the replays, is it looks like Cooper rolled past Sexton and then jumped out. And again, I don't know. AMA is not very consistent with what their rules are and how they enforce them, etc. But from what I'm gathering is because he already passed the incident, he jumped out and he might, I don't know. That's all I can say. I wish I had more. Please tell us Steve paid you for that. For the how to play video, it was part of my Pulp deal. So for those of you guys that don't know, I work with Pulp. This show is not affiliated with Pulp. This is all my own thing, but I edit down the live shows on YouTube. So like when you guys watch the 5-hour live shows, and then you see the little clips on Instagram and Twitter and YouTube like later that week, I edit those down. If there's ever a podcast that gets posted up on YouTube, that's me. I do all that for Steve. So making the fantasy how to play video was part of that deal in the off season. Then the fantasy videos and doing the cheat sheets and running the Twitter is part of fantasy, and that's my deal with Steve, Marks, JT, Paul, and Dan. How about Chiz? He killed it tonight. Raise his handicap to a 0. You'll still get, you know what, Phil? That's a good point. How low can we get Chiz's handicap and him still make double points? What did he end up? Did he end up 15th, I think, tonight? 15th. Look at my man go. You love to see it. But yeah, that's the only thing I can think of, Mikkel, is that he rolled past the rider and then jumped out. But I literally don't know. I don't even know how the rule is written. You know what I mean? Do they need to do it once they are past the thing? Are they okay? I don't know. I think Chiz decided how fast he will go according to his hand. Phil, that's what I'm saying, man. I'm not even kidding. Like, Chiz will always... Has Chiz failed to score double points yet this season? I don't think he has. He might lead the entire field in points. Looking into next week, good picks. If Anstey is not hurt, remember Anstey is already banged up. He already has like a sore shoulder. So if Anstey's not banged up from that still, and he's not even more hurt from whatever happened tonight, Anstey's going to be a good pick because his handicap will likely go up to like a 6, maybe even a 7 if we could be ever so lucky. Starling, because he made the main at a 12, will not be automatic double next weekend. Even if he's in the main, his handicap will probably be an 11. So that sucks. Makarath gets great starts. The mains are shorter. He should be great at the Triple Crown. I'm out on Brees and Clayson because they will both not be worth double points. Bogle will stay at a 7. Chiz will probably go down to a 6. Amart will not be very good. His handicap's going to go down to like a 9. Hartraft probably isn't going to be very good. Ferrandis will get better. Ferrandis will probably go back to a -2. Probably pickable there. Phil had a 50. He did. 50, yeah, 50.3. Man, Kitchen 59.5. Wow. I'm glad I dodged him, though. Because he still didn't crush it, and I think I will like to have him next week. Poor Sexton. I know, Alan. I know. It hurts so bad because, like, he was, 6 points out of the title? When he was leading, he was 6 points out of first place, and that would be so incredible for him. I hope he's good. I really do. I think Max did his shoulder. Did he, Michael? Hopefully he isn't, like, out for the year. It's pretty sweet you have a deal with Pulp. You've done really good with the RotoMoto. Have religiously watched before each race for you. Nelson, I really appreciate it. Yeah, it's really cool. It's definitely, like, I like doing it. It's consistent and it's cool. Like, I still like the flexibility of doing whatever I want. It's nice to have that consistency. You know what I mean? Check how many of us scored 294 points. Oh no, Digit, is it that bad? I haven't even looked at idiots all year because I've been nowhere close. What did you say, 294? I'm in 9. I made the top. Yay, the top 100. Look at all those 295s, though. I can't believe I beat Steve by 1 point. Oh, man. It looks like Roxon is ready to move on from Supercross. And that's a thing. I think he retires. Man, he has a kid now. And look, it's okay. It's okay to walk away. Any of you guys, for any reason. Pro rider, not a rider at all, whatever your job is, whatever your hobbies are, like, if your relationship is bad, whatever it is, man. Like, he's been doing this since he was, what? He turned pro. Didn't he turn pro at like 14? Like, he was so young when he was in the MX2 class in Europe. It's okay. He's been doing this for so long. He might just be done, man. Someday you're just done. Don't forget that Kevin Windham literally retired between practice sessions. Don't forget that. He just one day decided, I don't want to hit that. I don't want to hit that. Everybody's doing this rhythm and I don't want to do it. And he retired on the spot. So, like, these guys can be done at any time. You know what I mean? Have you considered providing your picks? Nelson, no, because I put them in the video. And I normally, honestly, Nelson, between you and me, when I get all of this done, because, like, today, 11 a.m., like, the pre-show starts, I'm literally typing in lap times and double checking handicaps and then, like, making sure that all the stuff on the enhanced cheat sheet is good, and then coming over to Illustrator and putting in all the information here and loading in photos and like loading in, like, I don't even look at fantasy until about 10 minutes before the picks lock. And by that point, I don't feel like my picks are probably worth much to anybody. I am so tired of looking at all of this data by the time that the qualifying is over. So I've never really put mine up. Like, I'll talk about it in Discord, on our Patreon Discord. I'll talk about, like, who I'm thinking. Like, today I said the only guy I'm into is Amart that was not on my pre-team. But generally speaking, the teams I pick are very faithful to what I put in the video. I don't mess around with it very much. Youngest MX2 champ. That's what I thought, Moto. Like, he was very young, yeah. Do you mess with the FFL? Dennis, I do not. I'm not a gambler. I will do it on Triple Crown rounds. And if there's somebody that shows, like, AC, I want to say last year or maybe the year before, after he got like 2 or 3 in a row, I did it. Outdoors, I'll do it sometimes. Craig on the West, I'll do it maybe, but I normally don't. Literally sounds Nelson. It is, and I mean I'm still working. Like even when I'm watching the race, I'm tweeting from my personal. I'm tweeting from the Pulp account. I am answering messages as best I can on Instagram. Like from 11 until 9:30 tonight, I'm working. Like, and I don't take it for granted. I don't take it for granted. Like I am very blessed to have the following that I have garnered in the last 2 years, and to have all of you here watching me and talking and all of this. Like it's incredible that I can do this. But yeah, it's definitely not a leisure activity for me anymore. Roxon got 8th and he's ready to retire. What about the other guys who've been working hard for years? Well, T-Moles, I think the problem is that, and you might, I don't know if you have anything like this in your life, but Roxon isn't going to roll around and get 10th. He's not Justin Brayton. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with Roxon or Justin Brayton, but there are some guys that love motocross riding so much that they are glad to go out there and collect a paycheck to roll around in 17th. But the top echelon of guys do not do that. The Roxons, I don't expect Eli Tomac to ride around in 10th when that time comes. I think we all kind of wish that Chad Reed would have retired a while ago, right? Like, wasn't it painful to watch him those last few years? Literally going to the LCQs, literally going to like rolling around in 19th place. Like that kills me. I don't ever want to see my heroes do that. So I would rather them burn out than fade away. James Stewart's race recap. Oh yeah. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. I'm glad none of the 250 guys got hit keeping the class stat. Yeah, that's true, Phil. Yeah, Volan's the only one, and like I said, I don't know what happened, but he did have dirt on his shoulder, and he seemed like the bike didn't seem that wrecked. He just didn't seem like interested in going back out there, so hopefully he's fine. You can see the moment when the cams see Sexton go down on Supercross Live Instagram. Oh, really? It does kind of look like Anderson tapped his helmet. Okay, I'll have to check it out, Wamba. Thank you. Mikkel, thank you. Thank you, for sure. Risk reward for Reed didn't make sense. Yeah, Dennis, I just don't get it. But again, some people, this life is all they've known. It's all that Chad's known for so long. You know, I don't know what it would be like to not line up for A1 after doing it for 20 years. We will never know what that's like. Just like we will never know what it's like for a hyper-competitive guy like Roxon, like Tomac, like any of these guys, to literally just be getting passed constantly on both sides when that's never happened to you before. So I don't blame these guys for making any decision they want to go. Yeah. Points leader is Tomac. Yeah, he has a 3-point lead. 3-point lead still going into round 8. Heroes are people who can't change what he has already done to me. It's fine. They still have a love for him. Yeah, for sure, Moto. I'm just saying that it does hurt to just be like, where's Reed? And you're like, oh, he's literally riding around as a back marker. Like, that hurts. Somebody asked about Daytona 500. I'm not a big NASCAR guy, so probably not. I am excited to watch F1 when the F1 season starts up. I don't know if I have any F1 people in here. I wish F1 had a better fantasy, but they don't. The fantasy for F1 sucks, man. I don't know if y'all have played it, but it sucks, man. So, you just pick a team at the start of the season and you do nothing, you know? But it's been an hour and a half, so I'm going to call this here. I appreciate you guys so much. My one last thing before I go is if you guys are interested, I'll put the link in chat to, I do all of this for free. I do the after show for free. So here is the Patreon. If you would not mind to support, I have as low as $1 a week. And it puts you in an entry to win. Race used memorabilia. I got this Craig plate from his Anaheim 2 race winning bike, autographed by him. It even has his mechanic signature on the back. So how cool is that? So that's just something that I can do to give back to you guys that help support me and help me keep doing this week in and week out. I will probably have a video up tomorrow about Sexton's wreck. I'll probably try to do a breakdown of what happened. So I'll watch that replay over and over and over again. And I'll have that out for you guys on YouTube tomorrow. And then probably a couple more videos this week, but otherwise it's going to be quiet. Triple Crown next week, so we'll know everybody that's in the main. Look forward to that. No matter what, everybody's in the main next weekend. All 8 of you guys are in the main. But thank you so much for watching RotoMoto Live. Be good people. I will see you guys next weekend. Later, y'all.